Hi, it's Mitz. Thank you so much for stopping by. In this video, I wanted to share the Stationery Selection unboxing video. And that's the information sheet, and I will go through each item one by one, and at the end of the video, I will just show you how I play with some of the items. The first one is this Aiko Fukawa sticker set. I really like these cat illustrations. And of course, because of the sticker set, I also wanted to include the Aiko Fukawa Green Garden Notepad, note paper pad. And I wanted to point out one thing. I'm flipping through these illustrations and I'm really loving these illustrations, but the paper that it's printed on, I will be doing a close-up here. You'll see that it's not just regular paper. It's not I don't know how to explain it. It's printed on really nice paper. It's you can hopefully see it's showing up on camera, but you can see the little ridges and little bumps and things. It's nice quality paper. And of course, I really love the little illustrations in the notepad as well. You can write or journal in there. You can write little notes or memos to your friends as well, and they're really good size for that. You can also use them as tip-ins, like I mentioned, for journaling. You can write quotes that you like or some memories that you wanted to keep special. And each page has, I think there's 4 different designs, so you can kind of change things up a bit if you wanted to include them in your journals. Next up is the Akashiasai watercolor brushes. These are brand new colors. I will be sharing with you more ideas later. The next one is this Craftalog and Classicy washi tape. I think it's called Green Graffiti. And I will show you a sample of that later on, as well as this washi tape here from Deco. It's called Hallelujah. Next thing is the Maruman sketchbook in the postcard size, and I love the fact that it opens up nice and flat, and you can see I'm showing you here. Anywhere you decide to use it, it will open up nice and flat on the table. There's a whole bunch. I think there's 50 altogether. I will double check and put a note down if it's not correct, but I think one side is a little bit more smooth than the other. But you can definitely use the water brushes in this Maruman sketchbook paper pad, and I will show you an example a little bit later on. The next thing is this Auto mechanical pencil, and it has a little eraser on the back end as well. I wanted to make sure that it had a clip so that you can use it. It's quite small. It's in the 0.5, so you should be able to use the lead that you find at the regular office supply store. And I just wanted to include something like more travel friendly, because the Maruman sketch pad is also nice and compact, so I thought I would include this Auto mechanical pencil in there as well. Next up is the Pentel Aquash water brush. Some of you may already know how to use it, but it's in the medium nib, and I will show you an example of how to use it later on in the video. Now I wanted to show you the actual washi tape that's included in this month's kit. This one is in, like I said, graffiti, and it's called graffiti, and it's in the color green. And my apologies in advance. I tried my best to edit the coloring of the screen, but it was really difficult. It was a really bright sunny afternoon, and so it's a little bit warm toned, and I tried to cool it down a bit, but it's still, the coloring of the screen is not 100%, but I really wanted to show you what this washi tape looked like, and I decided to stick some in my traveler's notebook and show you how I would use it in a spread. Just out of curiosity, how do you store your washi tape labels? I know some people do it. I'm just curious if all of you do it or some of you don't even really care for the labels. I like to keep the labels so that I can refer to the washi tape a little bit later on. If somebody asks a question, then I can see what brand it is or what the name is, like the item number and things like that. So I like to keep them in my notebooks. I used to have one notebook where I kept all of my washis, but I haven't done that in a while, so I need to redo it. I guess probably one of these days I'll have to. And I actually flipped back several weeks ago to add this washi tape. Don't ever be afraid just because you've I guess you think that you've completed, or you feel like you've completed your journal spread or whatever, don't ever be afraid to flip backwards and fill in your pages from before. So that's what I did. And now I wanted to play with these, the Acacia Sai water brushes, or yeah, watercolor brushes, and show you, I guess, some things that you can do to play with them. I'm very much a beginner, and I'm not really familiar with these watercolor brushes, but I decided to play along, and so you can see how, or things that I would do to add color to my pages. Of course, if you have suggestions or recommendations, or if you have tips on, like if you have a video that you refer to often, please do leave the link in the comments down below. So now I'm going to add water to the water brush. You can see I'm just unscrewing it, and there's a guideline. I think I show you here. There's a guideline that shows you that's the maximum water level that you want to fill it up. You don't want to fill it up all the way, and the hole is big enough so that the water will actually flow in nicely if you just turn on the faucet. So now that the water is in, I just want to push on the body of the pen, brush pen, and then the water will start flowing out. I tried to show you, you can see there that the brush is wet. You can see the water glistening on my hand there. So you just have to push on the body, and then some water droplets will start falling out. And then I'm going to, I think, start off with doing a swatch of the pens here. Because this is a brush, you can get varied lines. If you want to get really thin lines, just kind of don't apply too much pressure, and if you apply a little bit more pressure, of course the line will start to get thicker and thicker and thicker. So the brush, I feel it's quite flexible. It's not very hard. If you've purchased one of the previous sets, I've included the Kokoiro brush pen, and that tip is quite hard. So it's nothing compared to that Kokoiro. It's nice and flexible, and I'm just kind of trying to play and doodle and see how I like the brush, or how it reacts to the way that I write. And so I encourage you to also do the same. Just kind of play around and see how it reacts to the way that you write and how it works with your hands. And I'm referring to the back here. You can see it. I can't read Japanese, but I'm just referring to the photos to see if I can get some ideas on how to use these watercolor brushes. I started off by adding just water onto the page, and then I brushed the pink right on top of it, and you'll see that you can easily blend it through. The part where I added the water first, the pink is actually nice and light. Here I'm showing you how I blend it without adding the water first to the page. So I'm just really playing to see how I can mix the two colors together, how it reacts to the water, and you see here it doesn't bleed at all through the page to the next side. So I really like this Maruman sketchbook paper. Now I'm kind of really struggling. I don't know what to draw. I'm not good at drawing at all, so I flip through the Aiko Fukawa pages, and I see some really cute, I guess, little illustrations that I can try and copy. There's one that kind of looks like a cherry tomato. I did one illustration where I didn't add any water, and the second one there, you can see I added the water first, and then I added the watercolor brushes later. And you can see the second version, it's nice and it adds like a more softness to it. So you can kind of play around and see how it reacts to the water differently on the paper. Now I'm just really just having fun and trying to draw, I guess, like some kind of plant, and I'm seeing how it reacts differently if I add the water first, as opposed to drawing directly onto it. I really like this little leaf thing here. I don't know what kind of leaf it is, but it's just adding the water to it really softens things up a bit. And now I'm diluting the water brush tip with the water brush, and you can see there the third version of it is really nice and soft as well. And yeah, just try and have fun with it. Don't be afraid, and just mix colors and see how things react to it. And yeah, just have a lot of fun. I think that's the main point, is just have fun with these watercolors. Next thing I'm going to do, I've seen done several times already on YouTube. It's this saran wrap method. you can use an acrylic block as well, or something flat where you can easily mix the colors. And I just added some water first onto the page, and I made a mistake. I feel like I should have mixed two different colors, but because it kind of got a little muddy there. You can see it's a purple, but not really a nice purple. Like, it's gotten a little bit muddy, but that's okay. I just wanted to play around and see if I could do that. But yeah, you can just easily add water to the page first, and then swipe several colors on saran wrap and just kind of mush it around, and it adds a really neat abstract color to your page. Next, I was supposed to get my acrylic block, but I got a little bit lazy here. I wanted to see if I could mix the two colors first, and then added, like you can see, I'm using that saran wrap to mix the two colors first, and it's a really nice like peach color that came out of that lime green, not lime green, it's more of like a yellow green with the pink, or the sakura pink. And so I suppose you could also mix the two colors on a separate block and then use that mixed color, the new mixed color, onto your page as well. So now I also grabbed the Aiko Fukawa note paper pad again, and then I'm just referring to that for some inspiration, for some drawing inspiration, because I really didn't know what I wanted to draw, and so I'm just having some fun here. I know this month is a little bit more on the colorful side with all these different watercolor brushes and the paper pad and the stickers, but I wanted to change things up a bit because these previous months have been more on the simple monochrome type of color theme, and I really want to share these types of things with you, with the people overseas. This specific Akashi Yasai watercolor brush set was just released several months ago, and it's a new set of colors. The time I was researching for these, I didn't really see them being sold anywhere, so things like this I really want to share with you. Japan is full of wonderful stationery goodies, and it's not just, pens and pencils and papers. There's just a whole bunch of things I really want to share with you. So I hope you enjoyed this month's kit and this month's video. Here are the pages once again. Just have fun, and you can see like the different cool, I guess, effects that the water gives. If you just add a bit of water, it really changes things a bit, and it moves the color around the page. And so just have fun, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Oh, never mind, I decided to include a close-up of how the color and the ink moves if I add the water to the paper first. And of course, if it's a proper watercolor paper, I guess it would move around a lot better. Here is another shot. You can hopefully see that I added the water first, and then I added the lighter color green, and then I add the more like the turquoise color a little bit later on. So don't feel scared to mix colors, and just see how it, I guess, reacts. Mix things up a bit and see what kind of new colors you can create. Anyways, I think I've rambled on long enough. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please, if you have any questions, email me. I will leave the email down below. It's hello@thestationaryselection.com, and I will see you soon. Thank you so much for all your support and love and shoutouts and all the tags on Instagram. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so very much, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.